Dean Ambrose doesn't like John Cena. John Cena doesn't care about Dean Ambrose.
Just in case any of you don't know what Talking Smack is, it is a show hosted by Renee Young and Daniel Bryan that features guests from the SmackDown Live roster. They discuss and share their opinions, mainly related to wrestling. It certainly is an entertaining show, adored by many fans, and I can see why. There is a lot of drama and backchat. What's not to love? John Cena has been the face that runs the place for over a decade, and let's be honest, whether you like him or not, you cannot help but respect the man greatly for all the work he has done for the WWE. But that doesn't stop him from talking smack to anyone he doesn't respect, especially Dean Ambrose. In an episode of Talking Smack with Dean Ambrose, he went on to state that John Cena and Dean Ambrose don't like each other. John Cena immediately fired back at that statement in the September 27th edition of Talking Smack by saying, "No, Dean Ambrose doesn't like John Cena. John Cena doesn't care about Dean Ambrose." He then went on to say that if Dean wants him to care about him, then at no mercy, he has to step up or step aside. If you ask me, Dean pretty much got owned. I feel like we're getting a bit of the ruthless aggression Cena again. And this might actually be a good thing. As we all know, Dolph Ziggler can sure cut a hell of a promo, and his promo on Talking Smack was no different. During his moment on Talking Smack, Dolph Ziggler gave a rant about how he is just as angry as The Miz, and how you have to go above and beyond even if that means you're gonna get yelled at. He also goes on about how he only wants to be known as the best, and doesn't care about red carpets. Ziggler finally wraps up his rant by talking about how he wants to prove to everyone that he belongs here, and he belongs on the top of the business. The lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose had quite the say when Daniel Bryan began pushing his buttons, after mentioning if Dean really believed that he was better than John Cena. Ambrose went on to talk about how John Cena was a snake in the grass. He also backed up his decision about calling Cena a lazy part-timer, after Daniel Bryan brought up his promo towards Cena on SmackDown Live. Ambrose's frustration really became ominous when he began calling John Cena to come over to his locker and say something to his face. He also mentioned how Cena has no friends. Finally, Ambrose mentioned how he did not care about John Cena's opinion, Steve Austin's opinion, Daniel Bryan's opinion, and heck, his own girlfriend Renee Young's opinion. Although it was a worked shoot promo, Ambrose's raw emotion did reveal some truth behind some of his statements. Even though Carmella's assault on Nikki Bella during a Talking Smack taping turned out to be a worked shoot promo, I felt it needed to appear on this list, as it was a significant factor in Carmella turning heel. The apparent fight took place when Nikki Bella mentioned how Carmella was a bootleg Nikki Bella. Moments later, an angry Carmella came charging in and attacked Nikki Bella from behind. That smile moment before Nikki was hit really didn't sell out the fight as if it was real or something. Who thought wrestling was fake, huh?
It's still real to me, damn it!
The fight ended when a crew member physically carried Carmella from the area, and the Usos took Nikki Bella away from the scene. Probably the most famous moment that happened on Talking Smack was The Miz tearing into Daniel Bryan after he made a comment about how he doesn't like how The Miz wrestles, and that he comes off as a coward. It started when The Miz asked Bryan why he didn't respect the Intercontinental title. Daniel Bryan replied saying that he does respect the Intercontinental title, but not the person holding it. He also went on to state how The Miz comes off as a coward who does not want to get hurt, and that he embodies the soft-style wrestling of WWE. However, The Miz fired back, and in a very passionate work shoot, said that his style has kept him for 10 years in the WWE injury-free. This left Daniel Bryan to storm off as The Miz continued with his verbal smack. For those of you who aren't aware or are new to the channel, we have another channel called Fact 5, where we make list videos similar to this one, but covering all sorts of videos, from disturbing cases of cannibalism to people who saved animals from death. So, if you would like to see more Fact 5 content, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel and show your support over there as well.